Awesome. Alrighty. Well, I see our participant number is going up. So I'm going to get started so we have enough time for everything. Welcome to the Colleges That Change Lives Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/CTCL. And before we turn it over to our first presenter, I am going to play a quick video.
Hi, I'm Ann Morano, Executive Director of the Colleges That Change Lives. Congratulations on starting or continuing your college search, and thanks for saying yes to spending some time with us during the virtual college fair. I'm so excited for you. Take a deep breath. You got this. One thing you need to know about all of the colleges that change lives is that we are fiercely committed and dedicated to the individual student, that's you, and a student-centered search. You really matter to us. So think about what you value and what you're looking for in your college experience. What will make you happy on campus? What sorts of experiences are you looking forward to having in and outside of the classroom? What sorts of clubs and organizations do you want to get involved with? Do you want to start? What sorts of folks do you want to be surrounded by? People who have similar backgrounds, similar viewpoints and opinions, or people who come from different backgrounds who have different opinions and viewpoints. What kinds of conversations do you want to get involved in on campus, again, in and out of the classroom? Which ones do you want to start? Which ones do you want to spill out into the hallways after class is ended? What sort of physical environment are you looking forward to? Do you want to be in an urban metropolitan area or further away in what I call a more rural, nature, green stuff kind of space? How close do you want to be to home, or what you call home? Do you want to try something completely different in a location that's brand new to you, or do you want to stay a little closer to what's familiar? If it matters to you, it matters to us. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions in the chat during each session. So make sure you show up as yourself, be yourself, and get those questions answered. The Colleges That Change Lives are 44 distinctly different liberal arts institutions located across the United States. Although they are all different in terms of their academic offerings, their personalities, their vibe on campus, sometimes even their single gender focus or faith affiliation, they all share a commitment to you and to the liberal arts, because we believe that no matter what you want to study or what you think you want to do once you have graduated from college, the liberal arts provides you with lifelong learning. It will make you a more effective communicator, resourceful problem solver, and global citizen. And we think that's super important, especially for today. If there are questions that you have that don't get answered, or we can provide additional support or be a resource for you after the fair, throughout your college search and application process, don't hesitate to reach out to any one of the member colleges or myself. And if there are schools that you'd like to learn more about, or schools that are not represented at the virtual fair, be sure to check them out at our website, ctcl.org. Good luck, and thanks again for being here.
All right, I am going to pass it off to our first institution, Hampshire College.
Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I am so thrilled to have you here. I'm going to do a quick screen share so that you can see some information about Hampshire. I want to make sure it goes to the right screen. And it looks like we're there. So Hampshire is a very small liberal arts college in Western Massachusetts. We have about 600 students this year. We'll be going up a little bit further. And the question that is most asked of us is, what makes Hampshire different from other liberal arts colleges, and why is it important to the students? And what we really want to say is that we bring to you about 4 different areas that make us definitely different from other colleges, even other colleges that change lives. We use a learning collaborative system, which means we've broken down the barriers between schools and departments, and it allows us to look at broad topics through many different academic lenses to solve real world problems. And this means that you really get to dive into problem solving while looking at things through a variety of lenses. We also ask first year students to take a seminar which allows them to really begin that practice of transdisciplinary approaching, meaning that you are looking at specific topics, but from a variety of areas, such as when we looked at the pandemic, we looked at it through the lens of the virus, through the economic perspective, as well as the social and cultural. So in one class, you're really approaching it from a variety of different ways. The Learning Collaboratives also offer monthly forums, annual research symposiums, peer mentorship programs, as well as some other events that you get to participate in. Our divisional system really makes us unique in the way we break up 4 years for students. We allow you to customize your program of study through that transdisciplinary approach, where you get to have faculty advisors that are guiding you as you take every step through the process. Each student's education at Hampshire really culminates in a year-long project, whereas other schools might do a capstone project that's maybe 1 to 2 classes worth of work. Hampshire is asking you to take on 5 to 8 classes worth of independent work, working with your faculty advisors to develop new areas or learning within your area of study. And so as a unique approach to this curriculum, sorry about that, Hampshire really creates lifelong learners who are equipped to challenge boundaries, ask questions, take on the complex problems that are facing our community and facing our planet. Another thing that we do that's a little different than more traditional colleges is that we offer narrative evaluations. And we've always done this through Hampshire. So in our 51 years, we're asking our students not only to really dive deeply into the curriculum, but to dive deeply into who you are as a learner, not to just go through the motions, get the grade and move on. We really want this long format narrative to help you understand who you are and how you continue to grow as a learner. It helps you take ownership of learning. It helps you really think about the knowledge that you're building rather than just moving beyond it after that semester and sort of letting it go. The other thing that the narrative evaluation transcript does is it allows you to really create this distinct profile of who you are. And that is great when you get to graduate school or for college, for job applications later. The other thing that we have to offer is that we are part of a 5-college consortium. Most consortiums really are developed so that colleges can work together in a few areas. But the 5-college consortium is a little bit different because the other colleges actually founded Hampshire College. So Amherst College, Mount Holyoke College, Smith College, and the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, which is the flagship campus of the university system here in Massachusetts, developed Hampshire almost as a competition to themselves. But what they really did was create an alternative way of approaching college. And they respect that even though it seems like we may be in competition to them. And through the consortium, you have access to almost 6,000 classes. You have almost 900 clubs to choose from. That number will go back up once we're post-COVID fully, I'm sure. You can do anything on those other campuses as you can do on our campus, but you get to do it within our student-driven curriculum model. And you really are able to do all of that with no extra fees, no extra tuition, and you can sign up right through our website. You also have access to graduate level classes that you might not have access to otherwise. Additionally, the consortium allows students to connect through a free bus system, and Hampshire students can use their meal swipes at other campuses once you let our campus program know. The other thing that we like to offer is, yes, I will certainly give some updates on our financial situation for sure. I'm going to go over graduate outcomes really quickly, and then I will address the finances and where we're at. For graduate outcomes, we have 65% of our alum are in advanced degrees within 10 years. We are in the top 3% of students that colleges that send our students on to PhDs. 88% of our alum land jobs or in grad school within 6 months of graduating. 23% of graduates go on to start their own business or nonprofit. A couple of other things that I want to mention really quickly is that we are on the Common App. We do not charge a fee. We are fully test blind and have been test blind since 2014. We also are have removed the CSS profile. So for anybody who has already sent a student through college, you know that the CSS profile is just one more part of the financial aid that kind of bogs things down, and we remove that and have plans currently to keep that off our requirements for as long as possible. So let me dive in really briefly to what Hampshire went through going back to 2019. We actually had some leadership that had some different ideas about the direction Hampshire should go in, and there was some thoughts to combine Hampshire with another school. As a general rule, the college group really felt that was not the best direction. We have since gotten new leadership. We have started a 5-year fundraising campaign. We are currently looking to raise $60 million in 5 years. We are not yet at the 2 full year mark, and we have already raised $26 million officially. We know we have more in the pipeline, but that number has not come out officially. So we've been working with NECHI, which is our accreditation board. Everything has always remained in place. Our finances are strong. We have increased our enrollment every year. I would be happy to go over more of that both privately and publicly as needed. We are very happy to give as much information as possible. I'm going to stop my screen share so that I can also put my info in the chat. If there's any question, I would be very happy to answer questions via email, or feel free to ask me to set up a meeting with you. I'm not really sure where I am at time because I didn't time this one correctly. So Chelsea, if you don't mind letting me know, am I all set? Am I about at my time mark? Okay, super. So thank you all for joining me. If you would like to visit Hampshire, we have a couple of events coming up, some live and some virtual. So please check out our website, and would love to have you visit us. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Next, we have Wheaton College.
Hi, everyone. I'll be sharing something as well. So let me get that set up and then we can get started. Let's see. All right. So we are a distinctively Christian college in Wheaton, Illinois, about 45 minutes outside of Chicago. I happen to be the admissions counselor for Illinois and a specific group of students that do a program called Bridge. I am a graduate and I am happy to represent my school. So Wheaton, as you know, is a Christian school, and our mission is to basically set out students who want to change the world and who want to represent Christ and his kingdom. So you'll hear the motto for Christ and his kingdom everywhere. We offer about 40 plus different majors and programs through the College of Arts and Sciences, and then as well as the Conservatory of Music. We do have a general education curriculum called Christ at the Core, and it's basically where professors integrate high academics with high faith and enrichment theories. Our faculty are experts in their field, and we have about a 20 to 25 student classrooms. So the ratio of student to faculty is like 1 to 10. We have about 2,400 undergraduate students and about 500 graduate students, and they come from all places in the world, specifically all 50 states and 90 plus different countries. Students, 70% of our students come from out of state. So if you're a student from Illinois, you'll get to connect with students from all over the world. 30% of our students are domestic students of color. And then the 16% are third culture kids, missionary kids, and international students. Our retention rate is about 99 to 95%, which means that students feel at home when they come, and they feel like they are being challenged academically, and they feel like they are getting the financial aid that they need to stay all 4 years. 90% of our students live residentially all 4 years. The 10% that are not on campus are either studying abroad or living in the surrounding Wheaton area. We do have chapel 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then we do offer many opportunities to have small groups with professors and other students. We have 100 plus student groups and clubs and events. So there's always something to do on campus. And if there's the odd chance that there's nothing to do, students tend to go to the city, which is, like I said, 45 minutes away. Our athletics teams are Division III teams. They're all really great programs. Specifically for me, the football team is really great, and I love the football coach and how they offer support to the guys. Off-campus programs, we have the Wheaton in Chicago program for the semester, and then we do have a lot of study abroad programs. For example, to Wheaton in the Holy Lands, so it's Israel, Greece, Italy, and then we have Wheaton in Spain. So a lot of fun opportunities to learn through experience. One office that we do offer is the Center for Vocation and Career. This office is a resource to all students all 4 years. They offer career coaches who help them write up their resumes, connect with alumni all over the world, and then essentially get jobs after graduating. And 99% of our students either have a job aligned or are getting ready for grad school. So a lot of our students know what they're going to do after. Financial aid and scholarships. So we do have a pretty pricey cost, I guess you could say, but a lot of our families do receive financial aid. I believe it's about 83% of our families that receive financial aid. And upon applying, each student is automatically considered for an academic scholarship, which ranges from 10K to 16K. And then we do have a Wheaton grant, and that is each student receives it based off of FAFSA. We also offer multicultural scholarships, one for Black and African American students, and then one for Latinx students. And those are essentially full rides. And as well for conservatory students, we have the music scholarship, and then students who are interested in doing the ROTC program, we also have a scholarship. The next steps would be to apply. We have our October 15th and November 15th deadlines, which are the early action deadlines. They're non-binding, so no need to commit right away. And then our regular decision are January 15th and February 15th. For the spring semester, our deadline is October 1st, and then fall semester is rolling. I see that a student asked if chapel is required 3 times a week. Yes and no. Each student gets about 11 chapel skips each semester. So if you have a need to do homework during chapel time, you can use one of those skips. I personally didn't use all of my skips, but I did enjoy going to chapel. So yeah. I think that's all I have. I didn't time it right as well. So if I have more time, I can keep going, but yeah.
You have about 2.5 more minutes if you'd like to.
Yeah, so I'll share a little bit more about my experience as a Wheaton College graduate. I graduated in 2016, and I was a Spanish and secondary education major. One of the most memorable parts of my experience was actually doing the Wheaton in Spain experience, semester abroad. I definitely learned a lot about what my strengths were through that experience, and I learned that I love traveling. And so I've seen a lot of students come out of those experiences, like the travel abroad programs, coming out more independent and more willing to challenge themselves to learn in different ways. And I think that's something that our professors do really well at Wheaton. I also have experienced professors being extremely kind and welcoming, specifically to students who are from abroad. For example, one of my friends was from Budapest, Hungary, and she didn't get to go home for Christmas break and sometimes summer break. So professors would welcome her to just have that home cooked meal every once in a while, because those are very important to students and just the growth of a person. So yeah, that's something that I noticed that was unique about Wheaton College, and how everyone cares for each other. So yeah, if we have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. We do have financial aid for international students. And oh my goodness. Wheaton College is distinctively Christian. We do accept students from different denominations. So if you are Catholic or Pentecostal, we do have students from those denominations.
All right, I'm gonna jump in there. That was our 9 minutes. Thank you so much. All right, next I'm gonna call up the University of Puget Sound. I think I did that right.
Good afternoon. Let me just get my screen shared here. Let's see, have I done this correctly? You should all be seeing something that says "To the Heights." If that is not what you're seeing, somebody please double check that did. Yeah, good. Looks like that is what's going on. All right. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Robin Eigen. I'm Director of Undergraduate Admission at University of Puget Sound, and I use he, him pronouns. In the next few minutes, I'm going to try to share with you some of the things that I believe really make Puget Sound a special and remarkable college. While I think it's important that these are things you know, it's really important that you consider what you want in a college experience. Just because it's important to me doesn't mean it should be important to you. So as I'm talking, think about what you would need to know to decide if you wanted to apply to Puget Sound, and then ask. I'm here to help. I'll be in the Q&A after I'm done speaking. I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat right now. I also just want to say it's a tough job to follow my exceptional colleagues here. Some of my closest friends and mentors in the profession work at other CTCL schools, so it's fun to be together in this space. University of Puget Sound is a small liberal arts college. We share a lot with some of the other colleges here today, and you'll probably hear me say some things that sound pretty similar. Like all of these colleges, we educate the whole person. Now, we talk a lot about inside and outside the classroom learning in really specific ways. Inside the classroom, we require all of our students to take a broad course of study. That's really foundational to a Puget Sound education. The idea is that whether you major in music performance or biochemistry, we're going to teach you to think critically, to problem solve creatively, to write, argue, analyze, communicate, and ultimately to lead. We're not trying to prepare you just for that first job out of college. The economists that study these things believe that your generation will have 5 or 6 different careers, not 5 or 6 different jobs. So regardless of the major you choose or the career paths you follow, we're trying to teach those skills that we believe are going to prepare you for a lifetime of thoughtful inquiry, self-exploration, and leadership. I like to start with location, especially in this virtual space, just to kind of set the stage for where we are, because I think we have a pretty amazing location. So it's afternoon here. We are located in Washington State. We're in Washington's 3rd largest city, which is Tacoma. Tacoma proper has about 250,000 people and over 500,000 if you count the suburbs. With Seattle, just 35 miles to the north, and Olympia, the state capital, 35 miles to the south, we're right in the middle of a vibrant, dynamic metropolitan region. This is an evening view of downtown Tacoma, which is just 2 miles from campus. I chose this picture because I think it nicely highlights our proximity to the water, to the downtown area that's home to museums, performing arts venues, wonderful restaurants, really very significant cultural amenities for a city of our size. I think it's worth noting that Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is halfway between Seattle and Tacoma. So that makes us well positioned to provide students with easy access to national and international opportunities. This is, of course, the Pacific Northwest. Tacoma is right on the shores of Puget Sound, where we have orca and giant octopus. And this urban corridor of Olympia, Tacoma, Seattle that runs north-south along the water is sandwiched by 2 mountain ranges. To the west, you have the Olympic Mountains, and to the east, you have the North Cascades and Mount Rainier, which, as you can see, is plainly visible from our campus. So on campus, students are within an hour-and-a-half drive of 2 ski areas, 2 national parks, and multiple wilderness areas. It's that urban living near the water with easy access to outdoor adventure that brings a lot of folks to the Pacific Northwest, not just to Puget Sound, the college. In the end, 80% of our students do join us from outside Washington State, and they usually represent 45 to 47 states and 10 to 15 countries. I do want to talk for an extended moment about our academic programs. We are definitely a small school, but with 2,200 students, we're a little bit larger than some of our peer institutions. And I think that translates to a fairly wide range of academic programs. So we have outstanding programs in our conservatory-style School of Music and our School of Business and Leadership, both of which are not necessarily common to find at what is otherwise a very traditional small liberal arts college. But we have real strength in health sciences, offering neuroscience, bioethics, and exercise science, along doctoral programs in occupational therapy and physical therapy, and a brand new master's in public health that just started this fall. We have full majors in Japanese, Chinese, and East Asian languages. Half of our students will have taken a course in Asian studies in their time at Puget Sound. We also have global development studies, environmental policy, and international political economy. There's more here than most students expect to find, and it really is a very flexible curriculum. I think we excel at helping students to find interests and talents they never knew they had. In the end, over 30% of our students will pursue a double major. And all this is built on a foundation of small classes. The average class size is 17. Everything's taught by professors, and you get very close advising and mentoring from professors over the course of your 4 years. For those of you interested in the statistic, the student-faculty ratio is 11 to 1. At Puget Sound, we do require students to live on campus for at least 2 years. Many will live on campus for all 4 years. We do that because we believe that what you do outside the classroom is an essential part of your education. Hands-on learning opportunities abound, and they are really, really important to a Puget Sound educational experience. Next year, we're going to add an experiential learning graduation requirement that will help students to build in certain types of hands-on learning experiences into their 4-year graduation plan with both intentionality on the front end and some thoughtful reflection on the back end. So whether pursuing an internship, studying abroad, or engaging in extended service learning, performing in one of the full range of audition level touring ensembles we have, or participating in one of the more than 100 student-run clubs and organizations, perhaps conducting original research with a professor, or doing your own independent research through a university-sponsored grant, or participating in one of our 23 D3 varsity sports teams. And Puget Sound does this 24/7 education through a rigorous and interdisciplinary classroom experience and that vibrant campus community. Again, this education is designed to prepare students not just for that first job out of college, but for a lifetime of learning, exploration, and leadership. The outcomes of this model are strong. You're seeing some of the places that the class of 2019 went to work after graduating. Within 6 months, over 90% were employed in graduate school or in public service. And what this slide tells me is that whether at a professional sports team, a major tech company, a cancer research organization, or a business consulting agency, employers are looking for that combination of a focused academic experience in the broad range that we offer, but also those core skills that we teach all of our students: critical thinking, creative problem solving, knowing how to write, argue, analyze, communicate, and lead. Acceptance rates to med school and law school were both nearly twice the national average, and we've been named both a top producer of Fulbright scholars and a top producer of Peace Corps volunteers. If this sounds interesting to you, I'd encourage you to take a virtual tour, check out some of our virtual events, come to campus if you have the opportunity. We are open for visitors, and consider starting your common application if you are a senior. We are a test optional college. We have been for 7 years, and our academic merit scholarships and need-based financial aid programs are completely test blind. So even if you submit your test scores with your application, they don't impact your financial aid award. Academic merit scholarships are renewable, and they range in amount up to $30,000 a year. We do also offer talent scholarships in music, theater, debate, and art. For music, theater, and debate, those are open to students regardless of their intended major. The art scholarship does require that students major in studio art or art history. And we've come to the end. I actually forgot to start my timer like my colleagues, so apologies, Chelsea, if I finished too quickly, but I am here to help. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. Please don't hesitate to reach out by email. Working with students and families is my single favorite part of my job. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much.
There we go.
Okay, next up we have Juniata College.
Thanks, and good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Jason Moran. I'm Vice President for Enrollment, and welcome to Juniata for the 9 minutes that I have to introduce you to Juniata College. With that, we're located in South Central Pennsylvania, more specifically tucked in the beautiful Allegheny Mountains, but in the Raystown Lake region of South Central Pennsylvania, about 2 hours east of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and about 3 hours just west of Philadelphia. Many who choose to enroll in Juniata will travel by car, by train, or by flight, having the opportunity to fly into University Park Airport up in State College, home of Penn State. But also we've got an Amtrak rail line that comes right through Juniata College in the town of Huntingdon, connecting us between to Pittsburgh and also Philadelphia. With that, a little bit about Juniata. Our mission is to provide an engaging, personalized educational experience that empowers our students to develop the skills, knowledge, and values that lead to a fulfilling life of service. With that said, a little bit about Juniata College's enrollment. We're about 1,400 students, and those students come from 30 countries, 35 states and territories around the world. But with that, if you're looking for a small personalized experience, that's what students are looking for when they choose to enroll at Juniata College. Now, academically speaking, this is a true differentiator when asking that question: what makes you different from other colleges and universities? Students don't choose majors at Juniata College. They instead collaborate with faculty advisors, in many cases too, to design what we call their own personal academic plan or their program of emphasis. And so when you see the term POE, that stands for program of emphasis. And with that, two approaches that you can take here. We do have standard degree programs, and the examples we have there are biology, history, computer science, but at the end of the chat, I will also share all of our 40 other degree programs that we offer in the arts, the natural sciences, social sciences, but also business, communication, and other programs as well. With that said, some students come in wanting to explore, and what they do is they leverage the program of emphasis model to do just that. And they say, I want to design my own education that leverages multiple degree programs into one cohesive plan. And so if a student wants to come and pursue, like the example says, environmental public health, students can leverage our degree programs in environmental science, but also in public health as well. 2 degree programs merged together. So students don't have to sacrifice. With that, community organization and advocacy, leveraging courses and degree programs in communication, but also political science and politics. Other students want to take the approach where they already have a predetermined destination that they want to get to, and they know that they are going to pursue a master's degree, and Juniata does offer graduate programs, 5 of which are in MBA, Master's in Organizational Leadership, Master's in Accounting, Data Science, and Bioinformatics. But specifically, those that want to come and excel, they will take advantage of our newly designed 3+1 accelerated 4-year model, where it's 2 degrees in a traditional 4-year timeline. So with that, we've got 3-year bachelor's degrees in business, Spanish, communication, chemistry. We've just introduced psychology, but also integrated media arts. And all of those programs lead to a 1-year accelerated master's in business administration or master's in org leadership. And with that, students really engage in a hands-on learning experience. It's really linking theory to practice. And having that opportunity where 91% will engage in experiential learning in some fashion, either in an internship experience, either in the local Huntington area or afar, maybe in a metropolitan area that we're not too far from, like Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, or the greater DC or other mid-Atlantic regions, or they'll combine it with a study abroad experience as well, along with doing research with faculty. And speaking of abroad, back pre-pandemic, class of 2019, 51% of the graduating seniors in that class participated in not just 1, but 2 abroad experiences, really representing that global education and creating global experiences for our students is what we feel a necessary piece that contributes to your successful outcome. And that's where students do become focused students and thriving alumni. And I really want to point attention to the fact that 97% of our students and an alumni survey say that their experiences, their program of emphasis, their approach, having the opportunity to really fuse multiple degree programs into one cohesive plan, really related directly to their current job and graduate program. And so really, our POE does enable our students to evolve their thinking, align their interests with emerging and traditional career opportunities, and graduate as focused and well-prepared college graduates that employers desire after they graduate. And part of that 4-year experience is also wrapping it with a really vibrant co-curricular experience. Traditional and non-traditional opportunities that our students get to participate in. With that, clubs, activities, organizations are just numerous, where students have the opportunity to engage in a co-curricular experience that touch on advocacy, art, club sports, community, culture, science, spiritual, outdoor, and also service and stewardship. And here what we feature is a number of our unique traditions that our students have the opportunity to engage in, starting off with first weekend back to Juniata or at Juniata if you're a first-time student, and Lobster Fest, where we fly in 700 pounds of lobster, and out on our quad, we have a massive club and organization experience where those 80 club or 70 clubs experience or 80 club opportunities have the opportunity for students to come, get involved, engage, and connect. Storming the Arch, which is a rite of passage for first-year students, but also new faculty and staff to Juniata, where Cloister Hall, which is a residence hall, has this beautiful archway, but on one day during the fall semester, it is guarded by the rugby team, and there you see our first-year students, but also faculty and staff storming the arch, trying to get past the archway. And if you were to ask, what's the most number of attempts, storming attempts that have ever been performed, and by who, I can tell you who holds that ranking is our very own college president, Dr. Jim Troha, who attempted 8 times to try to get past the rugby team and storm the arch. And there you have some other, again, traditions that are unique to Juniata College that just make up this wonderful, strong and supportive community. And that top picture right there is a tug of war, the students versus the faculty and staff at our Mountain Day event, where on Raystown Lake, we have one day, it's a surprise, you don't know it's coming, but you're woken up at 5 a.m. To an announcement that it is Mountain Day. And at Mountain Day, we cancel classes, offices close, and our culture community just make their way to Raystown Lake for a wonderful Lake Day event, barbecue, and great cultural events that take place that just make Mountain Day a wonderful cultural experience. And part of our culture is also athletics. 30% of our student enrollment is engaged in a varsity level sport. Our athletic conferences are in the Centennial and Landmark. We are Division III with 24 varsity sports that our students have the opportunity to compete in. And again, if you like sports, but you don't want to take advantage of the competing at a varsity level, we do have club sports as well. And then to wrap up, admission and financial aid. We really work to streamline the application process, make it as easy as possible and barrier-free. The application for admission for seniors is open. It's been open since August 1st. And you can choose either the Common App or our own unique Juniata application. The choice is yours. For those that don't want to create a Common App profile, but really Juniata is where you want to be and where you want to land. Again, we have that unique application for you. No application fee. We are test optional. With that, many deadlines depending on your choice and your preferences on how you wish to apply. Early decision is binding. So for those students that absolutely have decided Juniata is where their destination is going to be and where they're going to live their 4-year journey at the collegiate level, they go early decision. They will be notified in early December, along with getting their financial aid package. Early action are for students who want to be notified before I'd say new year starts, and then regular decision is for those students that really want to take that journey during the senior year to really explore and make a well-informed decision before they have to decide by May 1st. From a financial aid standpoint, we meet 95% of need, scholarships ranging up to $34,000, and really a 4-year guarantee where for some reason, doesn't happen hardly ever, but if you do need a 5th year to finish your Juniata education, we will guarantee that we will cover the cost for you to complete that degree. To that end, there's my contact information. You're welcome to put questions in the chat, but otherwise I will stop my share and I'm going to return it back to Chelsea.
Awesome. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to welcome all of the presenters back on screen. We're going to do a quick round robin question here. So I'm going to share this here so everybody knows what we're looking at. Alrighty, so what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And I'm going to ask Hampshire College to go first.
Thanks, Chelsea. One thing I say to every student that visit us, look at every college you think you don't even want to go to. Make your decision based on knowing what works, but also what doesn't work for you. So look at these kinds of colleges, look at bigger colleges, look at small colleges, look at rural colleges, look at urban colleges. Look so that you know when you find the right place, you get to say those other things didn't work. And that means I know this one really works. The other thing is be authentic, be who you are, put yourself out on the application. Don't worry about what we think of you, be who you are. That's what we really want, especially this group here. Every person in this group I know is gonna shake their head yes and say be authentic. So I hope my colleagues across the aisle there are gonna say something similar.
Thank you. Wheaton College.
Yeah, along with being authentic, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Sometimes it's nice to see students willing to share something that is personal, and I personally like that, especially when I'm reading applications. Also, visit as many schools as you can. Step on campus and see if you can see yourself there for the next 4 years. Honestly, yeah, visiting campuses is one of the best ways to get a good decision, I guess.
Absolutely. Thank you. Puget Sound.
I would second everything my colleagues have said thus far and add, if you have questions, reach out and ask. It's our job to be, as admission counselors, to be helpful. We're trying to represent our colleges authentically. We want to set you up for a very successful 4-year college experience and life beyond college. So reach out. We're friendly. We're here to help. That's our job.
Thank you so much. And Juniata.
Sure. And again, I echo what my colleagues mentioned. I'll give you some advice that I was given from one of my coaches when I was in high school. And he said, Jason, beyond who you will choose to call your life partner one day, this is probably the most important decision you will ever make. And as I thought about that, it dawned on me that this is my decision. I need to own it, and I need to do the work. And as I say that though, too, again, I heard earlier, be authentic, be yourself. So true. Don't choose a college because of what someone else says you should do or pressures, which I know can be tough, that you are receiving from family members or friends, you need to be good with this decision. You are going to be living at this campus. This is your 4-year experience that's going to jettison you for life after. So own this.
Awesome. Very strong answers. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. All righty. So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much to the presenters for your time and information. Thank you, participants, for being here with us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions if interested. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other sessions at strivescan.com/CTCL. Thank you so much and have a great night.